Okay, my name is Marina. I'm a student from the MA Fashion Strategy at Artes. So we are at in the first day of the Fashion Colloquium, and I'm gonna interview one of our keynote speakers, that is Oskar Metsavaht. So he is the founder of the Brazilian Instituto E and the creative director of Osklen.
Oh, nice to be interviewed by a Brazilian.
Yeah.
In English, in the Netherlands.
What is the new luxury for fashion then? If there is this layer that is like an identity layer and also a material layer. So then what is this new luxury?
The new luxury. It's about being ourselves and to know how to express ourselves economically, but very significant and pleasurable. What I think about what new luxury is, I think people say that I'm re-signifying what luxury means and what noble means. I have it's a concept to understand what new luxury, what is luxury. It's about the ethos. The ethos of a community, ethos of a nation, ethos of a group. From the ethos, the Greek word ethos, it comes two words, ethics and aesthetics. So they say already that ethics is equal to aesthetics. So aesthetics, conceptually talking, is equal to design. Design, when well made, it's equal to sophistication. And sophistication is equal to luxury. So ethics is equal to luxury. People forget about, people don't know about, people think us, we think that luxury is about snob things, futile things, or brilliant things, things that's brilliance and give some status. But no, luxury comes from first the word lux. Lux, it's light, enlightenment, comes from great ideas, come from noble values. Also, people will forget what means noble and what is snob. Snob means ex-snob. The noblest value of a human being for us is when we dedicate ourselves to the other. It's the noblest value.
Was just saying.
And when you dedicate yourself to the other, like the old, you help an old woman to cross the street. So what means dedicating ourselves to the others? When we dedicate our time, our talent, our research, our love, our care, to do something, the best well done possible as we would do for ourselves. When we do it for the others, we are being a very noble person. Anything we do to the others with the total dedication, it will become something sophisticated. And sophisticated is equal to what? Luxury. So noble is equal to luxury, not noble in the way people think now. I think it's the noble values for the 21st century. And if we bring it to our practice in the fashion.
Yeah, because fashion is about this connection and these noble actions. Because we have like a chain that is completely you do for the next, and then you receive the things. So it's an industry where a lot of the whole process goes throughout a lot of different hands and cultures and thinkings and a lot of things. So it is a constant gesture of novelty, or it's novelty. Yeah,
yes.
Something like that. But and then coming back just to the materials that you are developing, because the Instituto E has both a social development project and also a material development. One of the main materials that you created, I think one of the first ones, was the pirarucu skin fish that you use kind of as a leather, right?
Yes.
And how did it happen? Did it happen?
The first one was exactly 20 years ago. Now 2018, we're doing 20 years on sustainability. Was trying to bring, as in Brazil we have a strong agriculture economics. It was trying to bring to Brazil, to develop in Brazil the organic cotton. I could understand how hard it is to become 100 sustainable, and I could understand that it's not impossible. But if we try to do 100% sustainable, this almost utopic right now.
Yeah, this is
I wouldn't
with
begin.
with the name of your last collection. That
Yes,
is
as sustainable as possible,
Yeah.
as soon as possible. No. And I could understand that if we don't try becoming just to be 1 or 2, 3%, we wouldn't never achieve that 100. And about the fish skin from the Amazon River, the pirarucu fish, it wasn't my idea, because I knew about here in the Nordics countries, it began to use in a sustainable way the salmon fish skin as a leather. It's the main protein for the people from the forest comes from the pirarucu fish skin. Mm-hmm. And of course they used it for a long time, but they used to throw away the skin. With a friend in Rio de Janeiro that has a dyeing process for leather, the process for creating the leather. On the same time, we began, I said, come on, let's change this. You have to change you don't use heavy metals and things like that. Let's
change create a different
the creativity
process.
Organic process. So he invested, we helped it, we developed it in a way, and now his tailoring gets awards from all around the world on this sustainable way. And this way we began. Bringing from in boats, bringing in airplanes, bringing in fabric.
So it was in a Brazilian way, let's say.
In a Brazilian way,
yeah,
yes.
So just making stuff.
Making stuff coming from from the Amazon.
Yeah.
And bring also economics to them, because they began doing this, used to throw away.
So it was kind of an exchange
of
experience and these kind of noble acts that we are talking about. But I mean, developing new materials is also about developing new techniques and also changing the whole process of the fabrication or industrialization of clothes as well. Mm-hmm. So how is it to work with this crazy or sometimes really innovative or really unexpected materials?
First of all, I think, of course, it's great because I have the ideology of sustainability, the love on it. I believe in a visionary that's becoming the future. So it's like so it comes from me and culturing the company and my design team. And but it's fun, some years. And when from the institute, we got some new materials, from raw materials, something new kind of dye, something like that. When I come with these materials with my team, sometimes we play with that, say, come on, let's ask with something more, come on, so hard to develop. But of course, this becomes a challenge. When it becomes a challenge to bring, you see we have new colors, new textures, something you're trying and becomes different. So it's about fashion, it's creativity, challenging, and bringing something different. So it's very exciting to do that. How we did for this last collection, I told you, called ASAP, as sustainable as possible. And it was the first time we did bring our sustainability projects, because for me, for Oskar is about fashion. Fashion must be free. Be free to use and choose to be sustainable or not sustainable materials. Mm-hmm. It's free. It's like art. Mm-hmm. It's another way. It's a design, but it must be free. I don't think companies or designers, we have to do sustainable things. You do what you want.
But it's
better
your
to freedom.
Be sustainable.
Of course. It depends on values, but nobody are gonna say to anybody, even to me, that you have to be sustainable.
Yeah.
You are, if you believe, if you want, if you desire, and if you think it can seduce the others to understand and mean the expression you bring for that? We had to think about that. So it was the first collection. I said, come on, let's bring, I want you, just think on sustainability. All materials that we have is 200 ones. We are using so few ones sometimes. Let's bring the most we can. Let's work on this. This is going to be our main focus. Also, the native communities in the forest, in south of Brazil, in the industries that became, after this 20 years, we're talking to them to change. Now we have recycled cotton, recycled PET. I remember when it was a dream for me to have that. And I used to talk to the industries. They say, okay, Oskar, yes, but it's so hard to do, it's different. We don't have price and things like that. And I remember it was very ideological, saying, no, but this is the future. 20 years ago, let's do, you have to understand.
Let's use
and they didn't come, but now it's happening. And for example, one of the numbers I was surprised by, just one of that is about recycled PET, a project that we began. I remember we began talking to the people who trash places to choose to select it, and it was very hard to bring and develop to work how to take the material to become again a polyester. I could follow all those models because we have to develop it. And now on the last collection, they told me it was 270,000 bottles that became clothing into Osklen. It means that 270,000 bottles came out from the environment and became fashion.
Why do you think it's utopian to be 100% sustainable? Then you use the word possible. So how much is possible? How can it be possible, or to be sustainable?
To be sustainable. ASAP, as soon as possible, as sustainable as possible. Because we forget that we are living now a transition moment in our civilization. We're coming from almost 200 years of industrial era that our industries, it's in a way. We are living a transition to this one. So when there is someone who is doing any project in any industry, but in fashion, and maybe just that piece, for example, if it is just 1% of organic cotton, what we would say, no, it's greenwashing. Of course, in greenwashing, people are saying that's 100%. But if it is explained that just 1% is sustainable, maybe you're going to say, but it's so small amount. But if it is 1%, is 100% of a small project in the familiar agricultural process in a sustainable way for organic cotton, for example. I'm just taking this concept. This 1% in a company, it's 100% if in a small project.
So you are saying me that the impact of even 1% is already a lot, like a huge impact.
Now it's something huge when you see on that perspective.
How it affects.
But if we society and everybody, and if we point some product and some company idea, no, you're not doing that, what those companies are going to do, because I could see like big companies, they would say, whoa, you're not going to do anything. So what happens? That project, that's very hard to take it up. To empower people to change, especially in Brazil and all around the world. That small project, that's very hard to bring up. What happened? Disappears. And if, for example, if you use 1%, I'm talking conceptually, 1%, maybe what is going to happen next year, you're going to do maybe 2%. And 2% means double the production. Instead, stopping the developing. So thinking on as sustainable as possible is inclusive to the sustainable development and to this transition moment in the world we are living. Maybe in 20, 30, 50, or even 100 years, we'll become 100%. But we have to begin. We society have to change, understand. Of course, this 1%, 2%, 30% of a company must be very transparent to people understand what you have on the process, in the chain process, and what benefits you bring to society, for the environment, for the culture. We are here in this colloquium. We are all very educated people. We have great values. We wouldn't be here if we were talking about that. Even us, we are not prepared to that. Even us, I'm sure, still have some conflicts in choosing, because sustainability is still innovation. Innovation, it's expensive, so the products and services are still more expensive than the standard ones, and they don't bring any status, any value. Doesn't change if you want your dress or my piece now, it's from a sustainable way or not, doesn't change anything for us. So in fashion, when you choose to buy, to use, to express yourself to the others with sustainable products, you're being a noble person, because you're helping others, you're helping the environment, you're helping for the next generations. You're not helping for yourself on the actual way of consumerism.